two, one. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Cleaning Out My Closet podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Julian.
All right. So this is kind of a weird one because this isn't a traditional episode of our podcast. In fact, to call it an episode of the podcast would kind of be disingenuous, I guess.
Yeah.
So we decided that we're going to not react to, but just discuss and analyze, I guess, Eminem's newly released B-side to Music to Be Murdered By.
Yeah, dude. I sent you the link because my buddy had sent it to me. It came out, midnight.
Yeah.
He sent it to me. I woke up and I sent it. I was like, "Yo, Sean."
You sent me the text. Yeah,
I
and
sent
I
it
was
to
working,
him.
and I literally stopped what I was doing. I was
You
like,
have to.
I was in the store, and you could hear me going, "No way, no way, no way, no way, no way." And I found it and started it, and I've listened to it that day maybe 8 times.
Yeah, dude, I listened to it
repeat.
so many times.
But before we start any of this, I want to preface everything by saying, if you haven't noticed, our podcast is literally named after an Eminem song.
Don't sue us, dude.
And it's not just because we're incredibly big fans of Eminem. That was probably more secondary than anything. It has a significance to us from where we started the podcast, which was an actual closet,
Literally in
to
a
where
closet.
we are now. And it had a whole other meaning to it because we are fans of rap music in the way that we are.
Mm-hmm.
And being that Eminem is so prolific to us, being that we're fans of rap music and the hip hop genre. So it's kind of it just feels like this cyclical thing. Like,
Right.
it's all coming full circle,
Dude,
right
and
now.
I remember we had like multiple phone conversations talking about like specifically that, but like, dude, it's so crazy. Like, we've had so many situations where we're like, yo, this is it right here. Like, if we just get this to happen, like, we're gonna, get so big, we're gonna blow up. But I feel like this particular incident or this particular thing is like everything just coming together so perfectly.
Yeah.
Like something has got to happen. You know what I mean? Like next episode, we get sued by Eminem.
Marshall, don't
Please
come
don't.
after us for this name, man.
No.
Partner with us, my guy.
If anything, partner with us.
Yeah, give us some money.
Instead
Dude,
of
Julian raps.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can
right?
call it that.
I'm just gonna start plugging all our shit, bro.
Right now,
That's
just do it right now, right now. So yeah, look down below and you can
He
see.
named his daughter Haley.
Yeah, I did.
Dude, you fucking should have done that for us,
that would have
man.
been nice.
You're like, Callie, your name is Haley now.
I mean, I got another one, so
Yeah, do it.
there we go.
Do it.
There we go.
No, so yeah, I guess the first thing I want to say is, because we're not reacting to it, this isn't a reaction channel or anything like that. I want to get into, I guess, what we think of the album or I shouldn't say album. It's a deluxe.
Right.
It's B-side to, Music to Be Murdered By. So, what are your thoughts on B-side, I guess, versus or alongside with A-side?
With A-side. Well, it was so hard because you and I, like you just said, we're huge fans of him to begin with. And you had come up with this idea of us like just discussing the album, just because we are such big fans, and it was so hard to just like try to keep everything like off the phone conversations and just save it for the podcast.
We literally had
dude, but yeah,
talked about everything mostly.
but so what I had mentioned to you about the A side, the B side, I definitely like the whole thing where typically back in the day when they had vinyls and stuff like that, when they had the A side and the B side, your A side was typically like your hits,
yeah,
or
you were saying this to me, and I'm not familiar with that
Right.
stuff because I didn't grow up in like the mixtape era.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, I didn't have to deal with that stuff to listen to the music I want to listen to. I mean, I didn't grow up on the internet either, but like it was definitely like dudes selling their CDs and shit.
Yeah,
It wasn't. There were but because I had mentioned to you, I was saying for me, the biggest difference between A and B is that A feels so much more commercial. And that's not a bad thing necessarily.
Right.
It just appeals to a much more general or broader audience, which is what you need to do as an artist.
For sure. I feel like there's definitely more like you would say like radio songs
There
or
are
radio
hits,
singles
right,
or
yeah,
whatever
exactly.
on the A side.
I would say like there's about like 4, 5 if you count the.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a dick, but the Ed Sheeran one is not.
Yeah,
like,
no,
in my opinion, and I love you, it's just not.
Yeah, I've never been a big
it's
fan
so
of
fucking-
that one, but
the whole thing is dope though.
but yeah, no, like I said, the A side definitely felt like more, like you said, more of a not necessarily commercial, but more on that side of there's more radio hits.
It's just to
more
appeal
broad,
to more people, not just like hip hop.
exactly.
like
Where the
heads.
B-side, dude, I was so excited because there's so many songs that just reminded me of just that old fun. Just,
Yep.
just like literally
It's
felt like he was
fun.
having
It's
so much
fun.
fucking
He
fun,
went into
dude.
the booth and he had fun. It was literally
It was
that.
so fucking nice to hear it
It
too.
literally felt like tapes that had been found from that era.
100%.
It doesn't feel like Marshall trying to be himself, from a different time.
Right.
It doesn't, it feels like somebody getting back to the root of their passion, which is just to go in and have fun with what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
to do it in the best way possible and make it entertaining, which is what Slim Shady was all a fucking about. It was about
And
being
the
provocative and
craziest,
ridiculous and funny.
my favorite part too about it is, like you're saying, there's some of those songs that take you back to like moments like like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and like some of those flows like are just so dope. And then now his pen game is so much better now, and he
it's wild.
executes the flow so perfectly, on top of the fact that he's just killing it lyrically.
Yeah, for real.
Dude, this dude is like fucking wine. He just gets better. Like, I'm not even kidding. He gets better with age.
We're just gonna suck Eminem's dick this whole
Dude,
thing.
but
So
it's
literally,
it's fucking good.
I said
dude.
to you, I was saying to you, this might be my favorite out of all of his penning on anything.
Right.
And lyrical wise, like this might be my
fucking
absolute
phenomenal.
favorite when it
Every
comes to
line
lyrics.
is fucking
Overall,
crazy.
obviously there are some songs where I'm like, God damn, that hit me like a fucking truck on some of his older albums,
Right.
But like overall, if we're talking about the whole thing, like I was saying this to you, is my difference between A side and B side really is that I can listen to A side, but I'll just go to like 4 songs.
Right. Yeah, you're
And
saying
then the
that.
other songs I really won't mess with. They're on my playlist, and if I'm maybe in a mood, it's like it's like that situation of like if you're on a road trip and you've listened to everything already, you're just like, okay, I know this is quality, it's good. It's just not what I would generally like normally put on specifically.
Right.
I would usually pick the song from the album that I wanted to listen to. And from A side, it's around like 4 songs that I like really fuck with.
Right. And then, but like you were saying earlier,
B side,
dude, I literally have listened
top to bottom, skip nothing.
so many fucking times.
The whole thing is into my playlist, and whenever I listen, I don't.
Let's
pick
talk
one.
about the
I just
greatest
start
song
from
on
top to
there.
bottom.
Keys. Come on, dude. That right there just like made me so happy to hear him. He's having fucking fun, dude.
It's a lot of
and
fun.
he's not only just having fun, but he's like you said, dude. He's lyrically just fucking slaughtering these songs. What was the second or third?
What are you gonna do in quarantine, man?
Right.
What are you gonna do in
Dude,
quarantine?
This is like, I think I told you this, like, or I mentioned it. This is like perfect, like climate for M. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Can't go out. He's
Stuck inside with the dictionary.
Exactly, dude. Just in the studio, fucking killing this shit. What's that? I think it's the second or third song.
Staring at the liquor store with binoculars from his mansion, just
it's like fucking shit. But the one with the
launching
cartoony
water balloons at his mom.
the cartoony beat. Which song is that?
That is.
It's like the third song on there.
Dude, we were just talking. About
we were just literally
Alfred's
just
theme.
Yes, dude, that song.
So much fun, like the Looney Tunes kind of.
But
like,
the lyrics
feel
on
to
there
it.
just don't match with the beat, but they do so perfectly because it's like this. It's his like that Slim Shady kind of persona going
there's
on.
like
and
a little
I
bit
love
of
it.
right. And for people who don't get where M comes from, it's frustrating to me that there are these people that are like, this isn't it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This isn't it?
Well, the thing is too, it's kind of weird to think about because you and I have grown up on Eminem since like he came out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Since the beginning of his career. There's a lot of people that only know Eminem from the past 10 years kind of shit.
Yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
real. Or only really fucked with him the past 10 years.
Right,
you knew
right.
the hits.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, cleaning out my closet. You
Right.
were like, I'm a skeletons in the closet.
They know some of them, yeah.
My father had his couple pen. Yeah, that's the level of people that we're dealing with here. People who
Right.
have some of the songs and they fuck with some of them. But like, if I ask you to name me that's the first 3 albums, they're just like, I don't know anything. But, I remember Recovery, Revival.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a generation of kids or people that literally just
even
know
around
him.
our age.
No, for
like
sure,
that,
for
like,
sure.
They know about him and they like him and they fuck with him. They just don't know about the origins of him. And for you to be like, oh, this isn't it. Like, you have to understand, like, this is somebody reclaiming their passion.
100%, dude. You can
this
hear
is
it.
them finding it again. It's not him trying to sound like anybody else. This is who he was. This is who he is at his core. This is he's an MC. B-side is music for MCs by MCs.
No,
That's what
100%,
B-side
dude.
is. Like A-side is for people who fuck with hip hop and pop and a little bit of R&B maybe, and you also maybe like some of the more like this kind of rap music or that kind of. It's not like for MCs specifically though. For people who just want to like the people that show up to like underground rap battles, that's what this shit was made for. This is for all of y'all. So when I hear someone who's like, "Oh, I can't bump this in my car," I'm like,
dude, you're so fucking dumb, dude. So fucking, that's such an ignorant goddamn response. It really is.
I've literally been seeing shit like that, like people reacting, and they're just like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" Like, I remember he has a line in one of the first couple of songs where he goes, "Even when I take the trash out, I'm still grabbing the bag or something."
Yeah,
like,
getting the bag,
making a reference to like, maybe when some shit flops, like he's still like killing it, and he is because he sells no matter what, because he's still the best no matter fucking what, right? Like the fact that he still is out here, like there are people he has to prove it to. He doesn't really have to prove it to anybody, but people are always gonna scrutinize him for shit that like I find it so funny. People on when he came out with Godzilla on A-side, people were just like, oh. Like majority of people fucking dug it, and it was dope. Right?
No, that was a fucking good ass song.
It was good. It was really good. I bump that shit still. All the time.
Still, yeah, I do too. I love the feature and everything. Was good.
There was a small minority of people that were like, "Bro, look at him! Look, it's Eminem, classic Eminem with his super speed rapping and stuff like that."
And that goes right back to the fact what I was just saying earlier. There's people that only know him from the last 10 years.
Exactly.
He has not.
He never used to do that.
I was actually trying to look up and find what was his first like song he did a fast flow on. I don't think it was Rap God. That was like the first big one.
No, that was the big one. That was the big one.
He has done stuff before that. I just can't.
That's where everyone was like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah, but like it's not like he's been doing this his whole career. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up with this whole I'll call it an album, but the B-side. He flexes the way he just fucking goes in with so many different flows. Each beat like literally changes like 3 times, and he just rides that fucking beat like no one else can. He's been doing this shit for so long, and yet he could go in there, drop a song with a whole new flow that you've never heard him do.
I feel like the best.
So
if I had to pick
crazy,
a word
dude.
to describe, if I had to pick a word to describe B-side, it would be maybe
what 2020 needed.
Maybe be methodical or meticulous.
Yeah,
like literally just precision. It just feels like.
Well, he's honed in on his craft, dude. It's like
it's
to
just,
perfection at this point.
It's almost like if you're the world's greatest sniper and you're just in a bell tower with your rifle, and it's just zombies walking at you in a straight line. You don't even have to fucking try. They're just lining them up for you. It's that easy. Like it's fucking crazy, bro. I honestly that's the best way I feel like to describe it, honestly.
No, and I think we've had this or I've mentioned this on our phone conversations that we've had about this. You could legitimately just see how like every album he does, because he's such so anal about the way he does things and so particular, and he's when it comes to the craft, he respects it so much, and he just fucking goes and practices. And like I said, every album he puts out, he'll do a flow or hop on a beat that you never heard him do, and it's just like, yo, he just fucking killed this shit. Like I've never even heard him flow like this. I've never even heard him hop on a beat like this, and he's straight killing it. And like a lot of people I know have been saying shit about like the more trappy beats that he's been doing, but you know what? It makes sense to do it. For one, he fucking kills it, and he gives you a different delivery and like, flow
even
than normal.
Criticism is so ridiculous too, because you have like beats on B-side where he's got like fucking Primo, like fucking DJ Premier is on here.
That's what I'm saying. This is the ultimate fucking flex, because
all the OGs that remember DJ Premier, like what the fuck,
dude. I love Premier. But no, that's what I'm saying. This B-side is an ultimate flex, because he not only has so many fucking flows that he not only does, but he fucking just destroys and does it so perfectly. But he does it on any type of beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could do it on some like boom bappy type shit, some trap shit, some like shit you never even like, some way out of this left field type shit, and it's still fucking 100 minutes, or sorry, coming at you 100 miles an hour, and everything, like, you have to go back. I've listened to this thing, I can't even count how many times, and every time I'm catching new lines.
Yeah, same.
Dude, it's so fucking crazy.
You listen to Tone Deaf.
That's probably one of my favorites off the...
I think the reason why it's so interesting to listen to that song specifically isn't like the beat doesn't go the hardest. Although it is fucking hard.
No, it is.
I think it's maybe top 3 on B-side for me.
For right? beats wise or just overall?
Beats, right.
Okay, yeah.
But I think what's craziest about it is like, it's almost like if you were to count however many times a sitcom made a joke in a minute.
Right.
It's like if you were to count how many times he drops a bar.
It's every fucking line, dude.
It's every line, but it's like 2 bars a line. Like he's like somehow recreating math over here. He's got that new math. Terrence Howard with that guy from
from Iron Man.
Yeah, that guy's like creating his own fucking math. Have you seen that?
I did,
dude.
Psycho? I did.
Yeah, he's like creating fake ass numbers and shit. That guy's out of his mind.
He wants that Iron Man
M's out of his mind in the best possible
way. Correct. So he's thinking on some other fucking wavelengths.
Honestly,
dude.
like when it comes to being an artist, you know what I mean? Like to just your dedication to your craft, you know what I mean? There's just some of those people that I feel like, oh, you just get it. You are authentically yourself. You're yourself, and this is what you know to be your passion in life. This is your 100%. Thing. If someone took this away from you, you'd fucking kill yourself. You know what I mean? Like, what else would you do? And there's never a moment where I don't get that from M. Whenever I'm hearing the criticism of, oh, he fell off, oh, he's old, oh, he's played out now, oh, he only whines about shit.
He is old, but he could fucking out-rap anyone.
Yeah, it's like,
that's the like.
Here's the criticisms. Oh, he's old. Yeah, so is like every old head in hip hop.
Exactly at this point, yeah.
Why are we like?
He's been in the game 20 plus years.
He talked
you know
about
what I mean?
How like nobody talks about 2 Chainz, nobody talks about Jay-Z, nobody talks about all the other old heads. They only fucking come for him.
Right.
And then it's like.
And the thing too, like I was telling you on the phone, what I feel separates M from a lot of these other, people you would put in your top 5, top 10, is he's been in this game for so fucking long, and yet he's able to elevate himself every album and also adapt to the way the game is at the time. But he never sacrifices anything as far as lyrics go. He doesn't sacrifice anything for the commercial reason. He still does and goes out and puts his best effort in, and you could see every fucking album.
It's all about the art.
Exactly. He really genuinely cares about the craft of this.
Well, like even with Revival, like a lot of people weren't feeling it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it all respect and everything, but it flopped. I mean, it just didn't do as good as you. Maybe it performed okay considered to like other albums that were out right then,
but
right?
Everything you compare with him, you have to, it has to come with an asterisk though, because the bar was set so fucking high right off the gate.
I agree,
and that's another thing I was going to bring up too about like some of the lines on B's side. Like you listen to it and you'd be like, oh, that's not a bad line, but in retrospect, it's a fucking dope line. Just comparatively to everything else, it's like. It's just so fucking. Everything else is so fucking crazy good.
It's hilarious because M is constantly. I feel like so many other rappers or so many other artists in the industries get compared to each other.
Right.
M gets compared to himself because who the fuck are you going to compare him to?
You can't, dude.
And then you're like,
you can't. Honestly,
this is what he talks about. I think it was on Kamikaze in Ringer.
Yeah,
Ringer, where he talks
about. That's one
about
of my favorite fucking tracks.
Yeah,
dude.
Exactly. It's one of the best on there. I would say on there it's like Ringer, Not Alike.
That's a dope. I love the whole Kamikaze album, honestly.
Kamikaze was dope, like the song Kamikaze on the album. Normal. I'm just trying to think of shit right off the top.
Honestly, I don't think there's
a
track on there that I didn't fuck with. Like, that was a dope ass album. Same.
Just the past like 3 projects he's put out have been fucking lit.
I'm glad you brought that up because we had talked about comparing the last 3 albums and just your opinion, ranking them, like what are you fucking with? So me personally, it's so hard. It's
wait. You want to say at the same time the one we put on top?
Yeah.
Okay. On 3.
On 3.
Say it's the same time.
1, 2, 3. Kamikaze. Yeah. So but it's a like on the back of my mind, I'm like B-side.
Yes.
In the back of my mind,
it's literally for me. That's what's crazy.
It's really
about
close,
it.
dude.
It's Kamikaze,
but it's by a nut hair.
It's literally right
by
there.
a nut hair, dude.
And what is it? Like A side, I would put lower down. Not like fucking crazy low or anything, but like a couple notches below. Just because, like I said to you, there's a couple songs on there that I fuck with heavy.
Well,
but the majority of it, I don't.
I think one of the main reasons to me, one of the main reasons to me that I feel I put B side and Kamikaze above A side is there's a few songs from each one of those that kind of bring you back to like a moment where M was doing like a certain type of flow, or just a moment, in M like 10 years ago type of shit.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's like an era of that. It's like just fucking like a project from that era.
It's almost like that nostalgia kind of kicks in a little bit, but he executes it so much better now. It's just like, holy fucking shit,
He's gotten such a grasp on the craft of it all.
He really has, dude.
Wherever you thought he was 10 years ago, he's leaps and bounds beyond that now. I think it's irrefutable to say that he's not. And it's so ridiculous because it used to be like you ask people, who's your top 10? Who's your top 5?
Right.
And I think most fans of hip hop would put M somewhere in there. Some of them were just like, no, like, I would
say probably honestly like 8 out of 10 people are going to put M in your top 10.
Top 10 for sure.
And I would say probably about 50 to 60% top 5. Mm-hmm. And I mean I think those are probably just like some realistic.
He's in my top 5.
100%. He's in my top 5.
Honestly, it fluctuates at different points.
Right.
But for me to say he's never at any point number 2, come on, he's never lower than number 2.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Like it fluctuates, but 1 and 2 is going like this constantly. In my fucking brain.
Just depending on your mood and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But the thing with M too is, I mean, he's been like we said, been in this game for so long. His catalog is ridiculous. You could literally, like, any type of mood that you're in, you could think of some shit, be like, okay,
seriously,
let's throw on some dark crazy shit. Throw on the fucking Slim Shady or the Marshall Mathers LP. You want some more uplifting type shit, get on Revival. You want some crazy kooky shit, put on Recovery. Like, you know what I mean? You want to listen to some weird shit, throw 3 a.m. on. Like he has every fucking thing, dude. And
seriously,
I want to bring up too something I thought I would never miss: the accents.
Oh, okay.
The accents, dude. His little accents he does on when he does certain songs. Remember how he did that whole album, and it was like, okay, it's good. But then going back and listening to a song, it was like the last song of Discombobulated, what it's called.
Yes.
He couldn't do that. Like that flow.
Also, just shout out to the title of that song. I've always loved the word discombobulated. Right. So to have a song be called, because I used to say that shit all the time as a kid. It's just a fun ass fucking word.
Dude, yeah, it really is. No, but that flow wouldn't be able to be done without the accent. You know what I mean? And it just like I kind of got a better appreciation for it. And I was like, oh, dude, I kind of missed that shit, because if you think about it, if you would have tried to flow those old songs without the accent, it wouldn't work.
There's people who. There's artists who can't even, like, if you ask them, okay, do an accent while you do this, they wouldn't be able to do that. There's people who you're like, okay, we're gonna need you to switch up the flow just completely organically, like write it opposite how you normally would. You say something like that to M and it would just click in his brain. I mean, he just automatically
does it, dude. Every song.
And then we're like, we want you to go, like, if like, let's say we could have some type of say over him, and we were just like, this is exactly how you're gonna do it. we look at him, we've got him tied up and shit. He's in we've got him in the studio.
He's in our basement next to Dre.
So we've got him fucking tied up, and we're just like, we want you to ride the beat how you normally would. Then for these 2 lines, switch it, go completely opposite how you would, then go right back. He's just like, can we hurry this shit up so I can get the fuck up out of here?
Right.
Like,
He's like,
I got a liquor store to keep an eye on.
This is every day, baby.
I got a Black Friday set.
But yeah, man, I mean, to kind of just put a cap on it, I really fucking enjoyed the whole B side. There really isn't a song that I
there's nothing
skip.
There's nothing on
everything
there.
on it's fucking
I play it from
perfect.
top to bottom.
Yeah.
Versus what, like I said, A side, it's not the same.
No, it's.
But
I mean,
it's you know
it's supposed to be different though.
Yeah,
It
this
really
is
is.
that was a little bit more commercial. There's nothing wrong with that. It
Yeah.
just appeals to a more general, a broader audience.
Yeah, a little bit more
You know,
diverse.
because you're an artist, you need to sell, and like it's not to say that he somehow sold out or anything
No,
like that.
he's been. I mean, he's been making like
those
those radios hits after, for this whole fucking career. You know what I mean?
And the radio hits are the ones I really fuck with. On
Right?
there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I'm
some
an
of
A
them
side for
are
sure.
like fine, some of them are okay. You know what I mean? Like it's the nature of just being an artist. You know, there's like everyone basically has their favorite songs and their songs that they would skip for every artist.
Oh,
you know,
for sure.
Like I listen to the Beatles and shit like that, but that doesn't mean I fucking listen to every goddamn song on every album. Like
Right.
I've got my favorites that I have.
I mean, that's anyone though. I mean,
yeah. So
everyone will do that.
I just want to make sure that we're properly sucking your dick, Em. Like we don't want to disappoint you, man, because you're definitely going to sue us for the name of this podcast.
Yeah, dude, don't take our 46 subscribers, man.
Yeah,
please.
We're still trying to work our way up to monetizing this fucking channel, my guy.
Yeah, before you take our money, let us make some money.
Like, let us fucking figure this shit out, bro. Then you'll have something to take from us. We're poor. We're fucking poor right now. You take this away, what are you going to get from us? Julian's got a bunch of used condoms that he keeps saved in his freezer. Like,
dude, I told you I'm making chorizo for everyone. Christmas,
that's
great stocking stuffer.
Yeah, yeah. You reach in. You're like, don't look first. Reach in and find it.
It like breaks. It's like, what the fuck is this?
But yeah, all right, guys. I mean that was it. We basically. Like this wasn't a normal episode of the podcast. We are going to now record an episode of the podcast, but this is just something that we both felt really passionate about.
100%.
We wanted to talk about this because, for one thing, we didn't talk about Kamikaze. I don't think we knew each other when Kamikaze came
I don't think so.
And we didn't talk about Music to Be Murdered by
I think
A-Side.
not on the podcast.
Not on the podcast.
No.
We fucking talked about it heavy off the podcast for sure. We couldn't stop talking about it when that shit came out. But yeah, I mean, we felt like this was an opportunity for us to do something and speak about an artist that we respect so highly. I mean, that level of respect is definitely seen throughout our podcast because we fucking named it after one of the works of art that he made. So I guess it just kind of felt like it was the right thing to do.
No, for sure. Dude,
there was also a lot of shitheads who really have poor taste in what they consider to be rap and hip hop.
Yeah, dude.
And how they couldn't understand
how fucking good this album is.
How incredible that this shit was.
Right.
That they really couldn't get it. And it's funny because I saw some reactions. I just randomly put some on and they were just like,
yeah, you'd mentioned
they kept pausing and stopping and skipping songs and stuff like that. I would see a couple and I'm just like, what is this? The comments were all like, what are you guys doing? They're just like, you guys, what the fuck? Why are you guys hating
we
this
talked about that shit.
like,
it's clickbait. It's fucking.
Yeah, they want to start drama.
Get those fucking,
they want the clicks. They want the views. They want the likes. I don't care if this video gets no views, no likes, or anything like that.
This is how we
genuinely
feel.
I'm not going to come on here and pretend like I've got an issue with the fucking music when it's fucking dope.
Yeah. So fuck anyone that's doing that. If you think they're assholes.
Like, these are both works of art that were made by the same person, right? If we separate A side and B side, but if you think A side is better than B side, then I think you need to strongly reconsider where you stand on the genre of hip hop.
Dude, honestly, I want to see.
With all love, Em.
Yeah, if he ever listens to this and responds, I want to see what his thought is on the question of the last 3 albums he's put out. What order he would put them in.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
M, tweet at us.
Yes, let us know, man.
Real Clean Closet.
That's all one word. At Real Clean Closet.
He tweets at us, and we just get like 40 million subscribers out of nowhere.
That would be fucking dope.
I'm just gonna kill myself if that happens.
Hook it up, Em.
The podcast will never be better than this.
No, we've reached our peak at that point.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Real Clean Closet. You can also find us on our Facebook page. The Cleaning Out My Closet podcast or at Real Clean Closet, the same thing as Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Cleaning Out My Closet podcast, where we post our weekly podcast.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to start doing more weird content that we've never done before.
We're going to put it out there.
But congratulate us on our new lighting equipment and our new cameras. Everything looks fucking great.
Dude, it looks so much better.
We're
so
loving
much
it.
Fucking better.
And yeah. thank God we haven't had any audio or sound issues.
You better
this
not have
whole
fucking
thing.
jinxed us for our next episode.
I think the episode that we're about to do, we're gonna have a bunch of problems. Fuck
Fuck
you.
you. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys.
Kiss your dad for us.
Mwah.
All right, man.
That one
That's
pretty
great.
good.
How long?
About, I think it was like 30 minutes exactly.
Wow, perfect.